Welcome, once again, Fantasy Ball team managers, to the Week 3 recap of the 2023 Fantasy Baseball season, league, whatever. Fuck it, I don't care. Fairly uneventful week this week. Honestly, Week 3 was kind of boring. Nothing too crazy, but we're starting to see some team identities, starting to see some leaders, some laggers, see where everyone. That's close. Starting to kind of see where everyone's uh, figure it out. Jesus Christ, I can't. Can I even post it? Who cares? I said laggers. I don't. I. It sounded weird when I said it, but like people falling behind. I don't know. I just whatever. Um, what a fucking start, eh? So yeah, we're starting to kind of see some team identities develop. Kind of see some teams that are still looking for some identities. But here we go. Let's get into it. So we begin this week's recap with last week's Week Three's Game of the Week. The Big Bruisers and PED users went head to head with Team Sternly in a battle of the 2-0 teams. Heading into the Sunday games, these two teams, this matchup, was only separated by 3.5 points. Close matchup going into Sunday morning. However, powered by Jacob deGrom's 6 inning and 11K performance. Why did I say K? 11 strikeout performance. Only gave up 1 run over 6 innings. Got 11 strikeouts. Team Sternly was able to pull away and win this matchup handedly, improving to 3-0 on the season. I believe deGrom had 27 points by himself on Sunday, and Big Bruisers did not have too hot of a day. They didn't do terrible, but Sternly really pulled away. Team Sternly, that is, really pulled away Sunday. What the hell? Anyway, Team Wallach also improved to 3-0, so we have two 3-0 teams remaining. Last week, in their blowout of the Clubhouse Space Cadets, that's right, Chumba, fucking figure it out, bud. Winning this matchup by 166 points. That's, like, come on, Chumby. Figure it out, bud. Team Wallach continues to develop into this year's team to beat after going second place last year. Don't worry, Griff, I won't fucking forget. You good there, Riv? What the fuck was that? But yeah, Team Wallach really developing into a team to beat. The Space Cadets failed to put up much in terms of pitching, having two starters finish in negative numbers for the entire matchup, falling to 1-2 on the season, while being one of the bottom scorers. So Space Cadets are scrambling for answers so far this season in the early goings. Moving along, struggles continued for Juiced Balls. Sorry to hear about it, Johnny. Losing by 104 points this week to the Drippy Droppers. The feared pitching rotations that Juiced Balls was expecting to carry the weight of his scoring this season has simply not been as effective. Obviously had the issue this week with Scherzer's questionable ejection and now suspension. So pitching is looking for some answers, but has not been as effective, and has not been what we all kind of expected. We all kind of thought that that pitching that pitching staff was going to be dangerous. And they only posted 56 points this week. So Juice Balls really struggling. Falls to 0-3, and is last in the league for scoring. Drippy Droppers, on the other hand, gets their first win, but is also in the bottom of the league. Bottom of the league when it comes to scoring, and we'll need to figure that out going forward. Speaking of struggling teams, Team Badussi also falls to 0-3. The Badussies put up a fight, were just unable to finish their comeback that they were mounting late in Sunday's games. Backup bullpen catchers outlasted the Badussies after coming out strong early in the week. The BBCs have been riding the hot bats of Brandon Nimmo and Pete Alonso, who combined for 36 total bases and 14 RBIs. That's right. Little shout out to the Mets. I'm not biased at all. What are you talking about? Finally, we have the closest matchup of the week. The lazy team name squad pulled out the W against the placeholders. This game was decided by just 6 points, right? Cameron said that last week. I don't know if you guys saw. Cameron commented on last week's recap that he blamed his loss on him moving. So I don't know if we'll buy that, but coming off of blaming that, he lost again. But by 6 points, put up a better fight. The placeholders made a late push, scoring 85 points on Sunday, but were just unable to finish strong enough to get the win this week. Placeholders fall to 1-2 on the season in an unexpected twist in the for the early season favorites with a rough couple of weeks. Not saying that Cameron was a favorite to win it all, but I think it's fair to say that Cameron was a favorite early on just based on his team and knowledge. So struggling early, blaming a move, but I don't know how much I believe that. Looking long term though, there's an interesting early season development. We have two 3-0 teams that are both in the Upstate Division. While it's still incredibly early to be making playoff predictions, I will say that only division winners get a bye week. So if this trend continues, the two early undefeateds will be fighting for the week 1 bye of the Upstate Division come playoff time. Both teams also face off against 0-3 teams this week, so not trying to jinx anything, but, two 3-0s versus two 0-3s, who knows. However, for this week's Game of the Week, for the second week in a row, the Big Bruisers and PED users will be featured in the Game of the Week. After failing in their original Game of the Week last week, I don't know why I said original, in their first appearance in the Game of the Week last week, they look for redemption as they face the Drippy Droppers. The reason this game is now our next Game of the Week is because so far in this season, pretty weak matchups, nothing too crazy. But these two teams have the closest point differential, just separated by 92 points, the closest of any matchup this week. So that is why they are this week's Game of the Week. Big Bruisers and PED users looking for a redemption in the spotlight. We'll see if they can do it. But until then, we will catch you next time on the Week 4 recap. So good luck this week, boys.